how many more he gets over the next couple of seasons. We're going to move on now to topic number 7 here on Comeback Sports. And this particular topic, we've got NBA season coming up, and Zion Williamson just came out. Griffin, the general manager of the Pelicans, just said that Zion Williamson had surgery on a stress fracture in his foot back in August. And if you're a Pelicans fan, Brandon, are you starting to get worried about your prize number 1 pick? I mean, this guy who's just an absolute monster out on the court. I mean, I love watching Zion. He's an unbelievable player, but he's now had some health scares over the last couple of seasons that dates back to college and even a little bit in high school. Big guy, foot problems, lower leg problems. That's always a red flag for players in the NBA.
Yeah, if I'm a NOLA fan, I've got to be worried about this. But there's a few things I'm worried about with Zion. I've got to be worried that he doesn't even want to play in New Orleans anymore. You know, he's been vocal about that over the last few months as well. And he's also brought up the New York Knicks. You hate hearing your superstar bring up another team at all, right? So that's the things that worry me about Zion is, does he even want to play in New Orleans long term? But then this injury definitely has to worry you if you're a fan or if you're the front end or front office, or if you're the coach, right? Because you're going to lose your superstar here probably for the beginning of the season for an unknown amount of time. And you're really going to have to baby him coming back because you don't want this injury to get worse and have him to sit out maybe the whole season or the majority of the season. And then maybe, you know, I don't know, who knows, he pulls his trigger and he gets traded, as a lot of players have been doing here in the NBA. And I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen, but I'm just saying Zion's brought up, like I said, the New York Knicks, and brought up how he doesn't like how New Orleans is handling the roster, and he hasn't really enjoyed his time with the New Orleans Pelicans. So it's just really one of those things where you've got to be worried here, on top of, does he want to play for my team? And on top of that, he's got a big injury that they've now got to nurse here going forward. And like you said, you brought up a foot injury and big guys, and I've got to bring up the other big guy that got a foot injury that was going to be great, and he was young, even though he looked like he was 45, and that's Greg Oden, right? I mean, he hurt his foot, and pretty much there was no coming back from that. That foot just kept getting hurt. And then I believe he even hurt his other foot. So it's just really one of those things, like you said, occasionally big guys in the NBA. I believe even going back to Yao Ming. Yao Ming occasionally had to deal with stress fractures as well. I'm sure Shaquille O'Neal did too. So it's just really one of those things when you're that big, you're carrying that much weight up and down that hard court, you've got to have a lot of compression in there to be able to take that. And eventually, you know, the stress fractures will build in with all the practice time and all the game time. And it's a long season. It's a haul. So it's definitely one of those things where they are got to be concerned about this, and they've really got to baby it and do the right thing, because you don't want to see this get any worse.
Yeah, you wonder, you know, is there something that Zion can do too? Because he's so heavy, and he's built like a football player. I mean, it's not like he's just big fat guy, but I do think he can lose some weight, and I think that will help. That's certainly, you know, your lower half. You can do squats and power cleans and as much leg exercises as you want to build strength down there. But if your body is holding up this huge amount of weight, and there's nobody in the NBA that's as heavy as him, but only 6'8". You know, there's guys that are, you know, well into 7 feet and even taller that are close to his weight, but there's nobody in his weight class that's even under 6'10". You know, so he's got to probably slim down a little bit. You do wonder, do you kind of lay off just attacking the rim as ferociously as he does every single play? We saw a guy like Blake Griffin. He used to do that all the time. He used to go at the rim and try to just dunk over everybody all the time, and it was effective and hard to stop, just like Zion, although I think Zion's actually a little bit better. You know, you 82 games. You want to have a 10 to 15 year career in the NBA. You got to start thinking about the longevity and what's better for you, what's better for your career, what's better for your team. Even if you play 40 games 100 miles an hour, you're not there for the other 42. So, you know, he's got to probably think about style of play and also losing some weight. I think he just has to. You know, and I don't even think he's lazy. I think he works hard, but you have to be committed to losing weight to become a better basketball player, not just because you want to look better, you know. So I think that's a question that he has to ask, that New Orleans has to figure out. And then you mentioned, if he wants to leave and you're New Orleans and you've got a guy who's injured a lot, it's going to be hard to say, okay, we're going to give a new contract or a big contract extension to this player who, even though their talent is worth a contract extension, They haven't been healthy, and now they're saying that they might want to leave for New York. Maybe we don't offer him a contract extension. Maybe we do try to trade him before his last year with the Pelicans. I mean, that's going to be some interesting conversations that their front office is going to have. I think next year is when they would have to decide that. So that's going to be very interesting for the Pelicans at the end of this upcoming season. But for this season in particular, too, you wonder how much, supposedly he's going to start the season on time, probably not going to play any preseason. You don't play any preseason games, that doesn't help your conditioning either. So how much is he going to be able to run after the surgery? How much is he going to have to condition himself? Is he going to be able to play 5 to 30 minutes a night out of the gate after having the surgery? Or are they going to have to ease him back into it, which is, I think, what they're going to do. But it just makes it more complicated. So this is a complicated situation for an outstanding player in Zion Williamson.
Yeah, no, definitely a complicated situation that could get more complicated depending on how you react to it. I think we tend to forget how young he is, and he's still carrying a lot of baby fat per se. So I think it's one of those things where I think you're right. He could lose the weight, but I think he could cut it into muscle, to be honest. And then I think that could even help him out a little bit more and just, get a little bit more light on your feet there too. And you got to think about something, maybe some, key inserts. And I know that's, not really that high tech, but something just to take off the blow of going up and down. And then definitely got to manage the guy. You got to manage his load. That's definitely what they're going to do when he comes back. I obviously no preseason games. And then I would play him 15 to 20 minutes here for a long time coming back to see how that foot reacts playing 15 to 20 minutes a night. Then if he's feeling good after about a month of 15 to 20 minutes, then I'd say, all right, we're really safe enough to be able to roll him full time here. And then you could even roll him not full time at that point, but roll him to 20 to 30 minutes, then 30 to 40 minutes and so on and so forth and get him back into full strength. I think that's something that they'd be smart to do if they were the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'm sure they will. I'm sure they're going to handle it with kid gloves. But, like you said, the other topic is will he want to be traded? And I think that's a topic that's going to come up and trade rumors are going to fly. Just like I'm going to trade out this topic right now and